Hi, it's LindaLee, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here, and I wanted to kind of share the first time I've ever done a straight up fabric eco dye. I didn't have any papers in this one, it's just fabric. And I wanted to make sure that it was dramatic, so I added a little bit of green food coloring into the water. And between the darkness that I got from the plants, the coffee, and the dye, I have a feeling it's going to be really exciting. But before we unwrap this, I'm going to show you a little bit of what went into this before I got to this point. It's actually been sitting overnight. This is just sitting in the lid of the pot that it was in. And yeah, see, here's twigs sticking out. But I'm going to unbundle it, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks. So anyway, these are, other scraps from vintage sheets. This one is a little thicker and heavier cotton. So what I did is, this is just a long strip. I have it folded in half. And what I'm going to do with all of the fabrics that are under me right now is I'm going to do an eco dye, but just with fabric. So I'm going to layer up my leaves and flowers and roll it, and then drop this in the pot. So I've got this piece of white. It's got a nice torn edge. This actually was a finished edge, and what I did is I tore it up the middle. So now it's, got a little bit of almost not really a ruffle, but an extra piece. So depending on, how it takes to the dye, hopefully the edges will be dark and it'll almost appear like a ruffle. That'll be kind of cool. But I have this piece and this piece that's slightly narrower. They are from two different sources, and they are two different weights. So they may take to the coffee or the eco dye a little bit differently. I don't know what I'm going to put in the water just yet. I have to see what plants I harvest. And I will probably put this clip in that video as well, just so you can kind of see where I started with the fabrics. More than likely on the end, and we'll just start with a couple of, like snapshots or something. And then this cotton down here. So these are longer strips. There is no print on this at all. It's all from the same source. And what I did is I just tore some strips, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put some leaves and flowers, and I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to tie it, and I'm going to throw them in a pot and just let them kind of simmer for, I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hours, just like I do my papers. I'm just not going to have any papers in this batch. It's just going to all be fabric. So a couple of long strips, and then I have this strip here, which was kind of a leftover piece. But again, I tried to have it at least wide enough. How wide are these? This one is 10 inches wide. So it could be used very easily, for a book cover or something, especially if you did it this way, because it's a long strip. So if it was at least 10, because most of our papers, when we fold them, a regular piece of like copy paper, this here is 8.5 by 11. So it overhangs, whether you stitch it so that it does overhang, or you roll it over and glue it onto like cardstock, a cereal box, or whatever. But once you fold it in half, then you have a regular, like coffee stain piece of paper size, like this Thesograph piece of paper here, just for instance. So, but these are going to be eco-dyed, remember. And then I have one big piece underneath that I'm not sure what I'll do with this one here, but I do know this one is very much like the other one. I think it's a little wider though. What is this one? This one is 12 inches. So I just wanted to have, you know, a little bit varying size so that, you know, I have opportunity for different types of projects, or, you know, somebody else might have it for other projects, because more than likely I will put these up in my shop, which I need to do a better job of, is putting stuff up in my shop. So anyway, now I have to go harvest some leaves so I can go on to the next project. Okay, so here we are, and here's my bundle. And so now you saw how I layered up the plants. I'm not exactly sure how easy it's going to be to unroll this. Oh, the outside almost looks like tie-dye already. But I only have, you know, this little sink, so it unrolls to be about, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet long. But, and I think I'm going to have to rinse it a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be dark enough that I can run some water. So I'm going to turn the water on. And because I did it in layers, there's probably going to be random plants like everywhere. It looks like it's going to be nice and dark too, which is what I wanted. So we shall see whether this technique is a do again or a epic fail. So far, I'm having mixed emotions. It's not going to be easy to unwrap this, I don't think. I guess I should have maybe done it in separate bundles. But here's a piece of fabric. It looks pretty cool. Look at, I got the red from the leaves. This is the outside edge. This is the piece that was pretty much on the outside mostly. I love the dramatic, this dark. Okay. And most all of it is folded in half again too, so let's see what we can see. There's flowers on the other side that are stuck. So what I'm going to do is, once I get all of this unbundled, we're going to hang it dry, and I might even iron it. From what I've done a little bit of reading, and the heat helps set the color. I don't know, I might not have to. I've never ironed anything before. I do have one piece in here that is got some lace on the edges, so I might just to flatten out. Oh, what a mess. There's no organization to take this apart, I guess. I'm sorry about that. I love that it's purple though. At least it's purple now, pink and purple. Who knew using coffee and green food coloring it would end up being pink and purple. Usually you get browns when you mix those colors up, which is what I was kind of hoping for, other than having some, you know, obvious green. But can you see it? Some of the leaves. This was one of the yellower sheets, the cotton. So we'll see what the white ones look like. My lighting here isn't the best either, so maybe I'll just go fast forward through this part of it. Okay, now this is a little more on the inside of the roll. The red carnations in the past have left blue in color. It doesn't look like it left blue this time. It does look like it left red or pink. How cool is that? Can you see it? What a mess. I was hoping to kind of take it apart and be able to recognize the layers, but not happening. So this was the one, remember I told you I had lace? This is it right here. So I'll probably at least iron that one. And this was a piece that I had torn away from a bed skirt. So this is folded in half as well. So you can see the lace a little bit. I have to look and see. I haven't even noticed if I've been in frame at all. But this is the inside of the folded part, and this is the outside. So the coleus leaves definitely left some leaf imprints. I don't see much from the flowers, at least not yet in the jumbled mess. Maybe once it gets flattened out. But I love that the edge is green. Okay. There's some great color transfer right there. So I don't know if the rolling is something that I will do again. I think what I might do is just the folded technique that I usually do with my papers, and just like accordion fold it and press it tight, you know, between cardboard and tying it. At least that's my impression right now. That's cool. Now these ivy, when I did it on the paper, left brownish impressions. I'm not seeing brown here. I'm seeing green, which is cool. But with everything else, maybe because it was all layered up and the colors bled through, it's just hard to see. This is another piece of the white cotton. I really love it. even though I sound like I might be disappointed, I'm really not. But how do we know if we don't try things, right? Now, this here, I'm not sure. I think there were 2 layers that I really didn't show because I forgot to take pictures. And I think this might have been one of them, with these little leaves that really didn't do anything. So anything that was taken on by this fabric is just from transference from other layers when it was rolled. So it'd take me a while to clean all this leaves off. But look at this piece right here. This is gorgeous. So I don't really have a lot of leaf impressions here, but the coloring is absolutely gorgeous. And then this side has the leaves. You see them? What a mess. I might not even post this. This is... not my typical wet reveal, that's for sure. Okay, so here is one of the strips. So I didn't individually roll these, which was kind of what I thought about doing at first. And these just had leaves on them. They didn't have any flowers. So we've got some color, but not any real leaf impressions. All right, so here's one more strip. So I think what I need to do is to let go of the expectation of leaves and just kind of embrace this result, because it really is beautiful. It's almost like not really a tie-dye, but let's see. And these leaves, I used a lot of the leaves from the carnations or the chrysanthemums, and they didn't really leave any impression at all. See, here's one right here. So when I take that up, nothing. But those leaves did contribute to the overall coloring of the fabric. This is beautiful. Just not what I expected. Here's some. Here's the layer that had all the forget-me-nots in it. And the flowers didn't really leave much. So I don't know if I should have left it longer. I don't know. Maybe a little more research. There's a really cool leaf impression. I have a new kitten. You can probably hear my mom and the cat. It's like 4 months old. His name is Tango, little orange stripy kitty. Turning out to be pretty vocal. Okay, and then this piece here looks like, I think this was one of the yellow pieces of fabric. Not really yellow, it was just like a creamy. Oh no, this one I think was white. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is just finish getting all the plant material out of this fabric. And we're gonna hang dry it and probably iron it. And then we'll come back again. So this video has been quite the process. Alright. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye-bye. Hiya. Welcome back one more time, and this should be the final segment of this video. What I actually did is I put all of the fabrics in my washing machine and only spun them. So I just got rid of excess water, and then I threw them in the dryer. I did not iron them. I just used the dryer on like a medium heat and just tumbled them dry. Didn't take very long because there wasn't really that much fabric. But there are more leaf impressions than what were apparent while they were wet. So I don't know. What I'll try and do is zoom in a little bit on some of this. But these long strips really didn't amount to much because all I really had on them was leaves. I didn't do anything with any real flowers. So I've got some really cool variation in color. So these will be cool to use as, you know, like gluing onto tags or using in clusters or swatches or even tying a journal shut. So this is the inside and this is the outside. The other one had a little bit of leaf impressions, a little more than the other one. This one had the wild ivy on it. So you can kind of see it a little bit. Let me bring it closer. But again, can be used for, you know, like a tie or to glue onto, you know, like cardstock and make tags. Or I can even tear it into smaller strips and use it as toppers. So, and then this is the back side. So a little bit more muted on the back side than it is on the other. But it turned out really cool, didn't it? Alright. So now some of the larger fabrics. Now this piece is, I want to say, it's actually harder to tell them apart now that they're dyed. But I think this one was one of the yellower pieces. So the same fabric as this. Hard to know which layer it was. You can kind of definitely see some of the leaves. Here's a flower. I think there's a little bit of speckling here, so that looks like the forget-me-nots. And then the other side. So this was the outside flap where it was tied shut. So there isn't really any leaves or anything here. I wonder what that circle piece was from. That's kind of cool. Here is the other side. So again, another flower, and definitely the coleus leaves probably were the best and most successful in this whole little process. Here's a leaf, an outside of the leaf. So this is still the coleus, but I think this is the back side on the fabric and this is the front side on the fabric. I found that the bottom side actually leaves more color for most of the leaves. And then here is the end here where it was tied. So if we look at the back side, isn't that cool? So I don't know how I'm going to list these. I think it'll probably be the whole swatch, the whole thing, at least for the yellow ones. Now this one is the one that it was the bottom hanging part from a bed skirt. So this is the lace that was on the bottom, and this is the raw edge that was torn from the flat piece that goes under the mattress. So this turned out really nice. This was the one that I was going to iron, but I think I changed my mind. I like the rustic look of it. I just kind of flattened it out. But isn't that beautiful? Look at this piece here. So this is the edge. This is the back side, so it's more muted. And this is the front side. Wouldn't that be beautiful as a cover? But this piece is, I want to say, let's see. So it's 50 inches long. So I could easily probably cut it in half. That way I'd be able to get 2 covers out of it. And this is the other side. Or just leave it whole. Isn't that beautiful though? It turned out really, really good. Alright, so that's the bed skirt. This is one of the pieces of cotton. So it is folded in half. So this is twice as wide as what you see here with the fold being on the side. So if this were to be used for like a cover, probably strip it down into pieces this way. So this is the front, and then this would be the back. So the back side still has some great coloring in it, but it's much less detailed. So let's turn this over so you can see the rest of it. No graceful way of doing this, I guess. I'm trying. Alright, and then this is the back side. Isn't that great though? Cool variations in color. We got a little bit of the ivy leaves. Some of the pink from the carnations. It was really interesting. I was kind of expecting blue from the carnations, but that's probably was more of a chemical reaction between the paper and the flowers, because the paper probably has, you know, processing chemicals in it that the fabrics do not. So that is one of the pieces of cotton. Here is one, this is one of the yellow pieces, the real pale yellow piece of cotton that I had. So the back side, And then this is the side that had the flowers on it. So this was the one that had just the purple flowers on it and some of the chrysanthemum leaves. So the leaves themselves didn't leave any impressions whatsoever. And we have just a little bit from the chrysanthemums, not a lot. Isn't that cool though? There's a little bit of a leaf, but not too much. It did turn a little blue. These were purple flowers, but we do have a little blue in this stuff. Alright, and then this is the last piece. This was the heaviest piece of cotton. And again, it's folded in half. So the fold on this is here. So it could very easily be kind of split up in pieces, where this would be the front side. This is the other side. Isn't this cool right here? And then this side here is the back side. And then this here was the inside, so it's even more muted. So nice impressions on one side and then muted for the back, or like an inside cover. Just my ideas. But of course everybody has their own. See, here's some of the flowers. We don't really have a lot of petal impressions, but you can tell that it was a flower, I think. I know. Probably just because I know. But look at that part. Isn't that gorgeous? So let's see, how big is this piece? So if we fold it or unfold it, this is gonna be 72 inches long, because it's 36 and then twice. Oh, remember that finished edge that I tore open? This is it right here. So it didn't turn darker on the edge like I was hoping, but I love the way it frayed, and it still shows, you know, front and back. I could probably tear or fray a little bit from one side of it, just so it is a little bit more layered looking. But it's beautiful. So yes, I have let go of my expectations and embracing what did happen, because this is beautiful. I have so many ideas. I don't know if it like inspires you in any way, but I'm happy, very happy with the whole process. Will I do it this way again? I'm not so sure. I think that I might do it a little bit differently. So I might do, you know, my accordion fold and layer it kind of like the papers. The only thing is you get those pronounced creases in it, and I kind of like that it's one continuous print doing it this way. So, but anyway, that's this project, and I'm moving on to the next. I think what I'm going to work on while it's still the weekend is I have a pair of jeans that I'm going to alter. So they're all in the washing machine now. I have a whole bunch of pieces of denim that I have cut from other pairs of pants, and we're going to do some like patchwork and fraying and cutting, and I'm going to make them more of a bell bottom than they are. So yeah, I'm going to bring out my hippie chick and see what's up. So will I film it? I think so. I'm going to try. I don't know. I only really have this little area. I have to work out the rest of it because I have sewing to do. I'll probably do some ironing. I don't know. We'll work it out though. Thanks for hanging out with this, and I hope you love what you see and it inspires you to try. Also, reach out to me if you have any questions. Please comment. Let me know your ideas or recommendations for something different in my process. And as always, the pieces are available. So if you want to reach out and potentially acquire some, let me know before I use them. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.